Hey guys, so are you having trouble with your Nvidia graphics card? Well, sometimes GPU drivers can cause performance problems while gaming, but it gets even worse when you see crashes, artifacts, and then the blue screen of death. And so in this video, I'll show you all the different ways that you can roll back your Nvidia driver to a working version, or completely uninstall the driver yourself and then install any driver the way you want. First, let's consider the easiest approach to rolling back your driver. Simply open the Start menu, search for Device Manager, and then click to open it. And if you expand Display Adapters, you'll see the Nvidia GPU you've got installed on your PC. Right-click the GPU and then go to Properties. Let's head to the Driver tab and you'll see an option to roll back driver. But if this button is grayed out for you like it is for me, that's completely fine. According to Intel, this happens because you didn't manually install any previous drivers yourself, or your PC simply isn't holding onto those files anymore for an actual rollback. But don't worry, because there are more ways to fix this problem. For most modern Nvidia GPUs, just expand or take a look at your taskbar system tray icons. You'll probably have the new Nvidia app or Geforce experience. Just open that up and you may find it auto updating itself initially. But once the app is open, go to drivers on the left and you'll see if your driver needs updates. So in the case of a driver problem, just go all the way down to find two different solutions. You can either reinstall the current driver you have, which sometimes can fix problems, or you can find Nvidia drivers that you've previously installed and then click reinstall. So this would let you roll back to a working version. But if you need to update your driver to the latest at any time, just head back to drivers. So game-ready drivers are more suited for gaming, whereas the studio driver is more for creators. So after you've selected the right type, click download, and once everything is all set, click install. Express installation is recommended for most people, but if you're having GPU problems, click the custom option to install specific driver components, and then opt for the clean installation to reset any faulty driver settings you may have. And now click continue to start the installation and then finish things up. By the way, if you ever find that the driver downloader is stuck, you can easily wipe any leftover cached files or installers by going to C drive, program data, Nvidia Corporation, downloader. Simply step into each of these folders and then try wiping any files there to clean things up. But if you don't have the Nvidia app or you simply don't want to use it, you can also remove drivers using the control panel. Just go to the Start menu, search for Control Panel, and then once you have it open, look for Uninstall a Program. You'll find the Nvidia driver in the list for you to uninstall. And if none of these options work so far, the next approach is to go back in time. So Windows has a feature called System Restore. To use it, open the Start menu and then search for Restore. Click Create a Restore Point and then find your Windows or System drive. Most of the time, this will be the C drive. So with the right one selected, click Configure, and hopefully you already had system protection turned on. This is basically what allows you to go back in time. So we'll click System Restore, hit Next, and then check Show More Restore Points. The idea is for you to select a restore point where the Nvidia driver was working as expected. Then click Next. And the cool part about this feature is you can scan for affected programs, which tells you exactly what version of your GPU's driver you'll be restoring. But sometimes going back in time is not the most ideal way to do this, since you're restoring the entire system just to roll back one driver. For example, a Windows update can sometimes break your GPU's driver to the point where Nvidia staff actually recommends you uninstall those updates. So if you need to uninstall a Windows update, just search for Windows Update Settings in the Start menu. And under Options, click on Update History. Going all the way down, look for Uninstall Updates under Related Settings. And there, you can typically find and install the exact update that may have broken your driver. So at this point, if your PC is still holding on to a bad driver, there's yet another way that Windows can completely wipe it for you. Let's open the Start menu and we'll head back to the Device Manager. Right-click your GPU and go to Uninstall Device. Make sure you check Attempt to remove the driver to wipe all traces of it from your PC. However, keep in mind that when your PC has no dedicated GPU driver, it means your Windows UI might look a bit congested. That's because Windows may have switched to the onboard Intel driver, and that, unfortunately, kicks the resolution down to something ridiculous like 800 by 600. And now we'll go over a last resort if none of these options worked for your GPU problems. Intel recommends something called DDU, which is the Display Driver Uninstaller. This can be downloaded from wagnerdsoft.com. Find the latest version of DDU from their software page and then go further down where you'll see a download link. It's basically a forum post that maintains the latest versions of DDU, and there you can download the portable version or the installer. I definitely recommend going with the portable option since you don't need to install anything on your PC. Once you have it downloaded, head to where you saved it and then open the executable to extract it somewhere on your PC. The easiest option is to stick with the default location, which is the current directory. And after the files are extracted, you'll find the tool inside the DDU folder. But before we run this tool, it's highly recommended that we boot Windows in safe mode. The easiest way to do this is to open the Start menu and look for Advanced Startup. Click on that to go into the System Settings, and under Recovery Options, we'll click Restart Now and then confirm by clicking Restart. Your PC should reboot and then give you several different options. Let's go into Troubleshoot, Advanced Options, Startup Settings, and then Safe Mode, which is number 4 on this list. Then you'll boot into Safe Mode. So just head to the folder where you extracted DDU, and once you open up the uninstaller, click OK to acknowledge the initial startup information. Then you'll find a few Nvidia specific options that you can tweak before uninstalling any of your drivers. Removing the driver folders, for example, keeps things clean, and you can also opt to retain some of your custom settings if you want. And once you close these options, expand the device type dropdown and let's go with GPU. After that, just make sure Nvidia is selected as a device. Finally, click on Clean and Restart, which should completely remove all traces of your Nvidia driver. And then your machine will reboot and take you back to Windows with the driver removed. So we've talked about how to roll back and uninstall your Nvidia drivers in countless different ways. But what if you wanted to install a specific driver down to the exact version? No problem. Just head to nvidia.com and then click Drivers. If you know what GPU you have, just search for it here directly to find all available drivers. Or you can just as easily filter by series, followed by the exact model, and then drill down to the exact architecture of your computer. Once you click Find, you'll see the latest drivers at the very top. But if you go further down, click View More Versions to get the full list of Nvidia drivers by release date. And by the way, sometimes even Device Manager can be useful in getting your drivers updated, especially if you have individual driver files on your PC. For example, you can right-click your graphics card, choose Update Driver, and then either have Device Manager search for them automatically, or you can point it in the right location where they might be stored. So I hope this helped you find countless ways to roll back, uninstall, and update your Nvidia drivers. Thanks for watching. And for more on Nvidia or GPU problems, please consider subscribing to this channel.